So I'm going to address one of the questions that Akansha, hopefully I get your name right. I just put your email there just to make sure that it's you. And he mentioned about how to take email follow-up and basically and durations of it. Now, this question is kind of open-ended. So what do you mean by email follow-up and duration? So I'm making some assumptions here that you're talking about, how many emails do you need to send in a campaign, or how many emails you send that you need, for example, if you are promoting something, okay, and duration, how many days, right? So so the answer is this. I would recommend generally, if you're launching a campaign, to send between 5 to 7 emails. Let's say you're promoting something, you're promoting a course, you're promoting a service. Send 5 to 7 emails, right? Now, these 5 to 7 emails, the reasoning behind it is not everyone will open your first email, okay? For example, maybe the timing is not right, maybe your subject line is not right, it doesn't appeal to them, for example, or either they saw you, they know you, and it says, okay, I'm going to read later, I'm busy now. But at the end of the day, they forget about it, okay? So when you have 5 to 7 emails, it gives you a chance to actually basically catch them when the timing is right. Number one. Number two, you have 5 to 7 chances to basically vary your subject lines and also your content. All right. So your emails could be maybe one, do an announcement that you're launching this. Email number two, you may be talking about, let's say, the benefits of it. And email number three, you may be talking about, let's say, the things you can do with this particular one. Number four, you can talk about, let's say, testimonials. People who have used your service or use your product and they're happy with it, and the outcome, or so-called the results they got by using your product or service, for example. So from there, and then the fifth or sixth could be just, okay, it's closing. Okay, so you have an open card and closed card, especially when you do a campaign. And then you've got less than 24 hours or less than 12 hours. So you can actually run these emails from that. Certain people do not buy unless they are really, really highly into you, and they will buy the first thing, whatever you have, they will buy it straight away. So those are the early parts. So in most campaigns, there's always this beginning and the end, and in between that lull, there will be a dip in signups. All right. So in the end, it's because last minute they will say, okay, now I'm ready. I've checked with my spouse, for example. I've looked at my finances. I think I can invest, or I'm just waiting for maybe any new bonuses that you may announce in the last minute. Okay. So there's always this initial bump in sales because of the highly engaged group, and then the last minute group, which is the initial bump as you move closer to the closing of your card. Okay, so that's that. I hope I've answered your questions. If not, you can always basically reach out to me again. Be more specific with your questions, because you can say that, okay, I have got this campaign, I want to achieve this outcome, and I'm facing this problem. Now, this way, I have better context, and I can then advise you basically in a better way, right? That would, end of the day, why I'm doing this is to help you with your email campaign. And if you see the results, great, you will do more emails, and you will basically, my mission is to basically get as many people as possible to use email, because it is one of the channel that is a very powerful channel, and it's a very good channel to build your following. Social media is great and all, but end of the day, you want to have then that so-called that conversations with people who believe in you, or people who like what you do. Okay, and those are the people eventually will be your customers. Okay, and let's address this. Okay, let me see. Okay, I can't see. I don't know who is this. I've got to check my. Okay, there, but I'll go check my phone. For those who don't know you, I'll share a bit about what you do and what you don't do. For example, your pure coaching consultancy, or take a role, a scope of executing after getting consulting from you. Okay. I have done for you services, which means, let's say you want to set up an email from ground up, you want to do your email marketing. I can actually set it up and basically write the emails for you for the first few months. And then we can also, depending on as you go along during the engagement, I can then do the coaching component side of it. I also have, for example, I've got a course, an online course on MailerLite. Those are who wants to learn basically on their own time, who prefer to basically um, to learn on their own, then you have this, and I'll be creating a few more courses along the way within this year. But generally speaking, I've got coaching, which is post done for you, depending on your needs. And then I've got, online courses, basically of self-learning courses. All right. I hope I answered. Oh, okay, GY. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. So I hope I answer your questions, GY. And then because of me remembering your face in tonight's FB session, I will also remember our last session to get my ask to double check my domain's DKIM settings today, realizing I don't have DMARC saved. Okay, correct. So DMARC basically, if you watch, I think that was in episode 2. I use an analogy of membership. DMARC is basically saying that to tell your inbox provider is a string of codes in your domain to tell the ISPs that you must pass the SPF and DKIM in order for them to accept your email. Okay, so you have none, you have quarantine, and you have reject. So that these are the protocols that you set and you advise the inbox providers. Okay, so but if you don't set up DMARC, it's fine. But primarily your SPF and DKIM at the very bare minimum must be properly set up. Okay, that way they will know, at least the ISPs will know that it's generally it's you, and through your consistent delivery of your emails and the interaction and engagement with your subscribers, they would then basically over time improve your sender domain reputation. Okay, with that, okay, right. So back to this one. Okay, I'm getting used to typing all this comment stuff and showing up pretty cool. Okay, so I want to share with you this. I've built, okay, this is nothing fancy. It's basically a set of square boxes, but I want to share with you how you can use it when you want to build your campaign flow, all right? And let me share this screen. Just a minute. I'm going to show this. Okay. Stop this. Share this again. Where is it? Okay. There you go. So I'm going to use my pen to write this. So let's say now how you use this grid thing is, okay, the thing with emails, here are the steps when you want to create your email campaigns. You don't jump straight into your email service provider or ESPs, for example, to start building your campaigns. It's very confusing. So what you want to do is take a piece of paper, or if you want, I will give you the link to download this template, and to basically use this planner to just sketch out your flow. All right. So for example, let's say now you decided to have, let's say, a lead magnet. All right. And then when somebody signs up for lead magnet, what will happen? You will send your first email, which is basically to deliver, obviously, the lead magnet, all right? And then from there, you may want to have the next email to talk about, let's say, a welcome, to introduce yourself. What do you do, and how can you help, and what are the things that you can expect by virtue of downloading the lead magnet, for example, or subscribing to the lead magnet, you'll be receiving emails from me, right? And then you can talk about, maybe you want to quickly build up that bond or their relationship. You can want to talk about, let's say, the testimonials. Okay, sorry, it's a bit small so you can see. So generally testimonials, and so on and so forth. All right. Now, what happens is this. For a simple example like this, you will now know how many emails you need to write, what sort of emails that you want to write, right? And then only you can then map it into your ESPs. So let's say, for example, I want to take it a step further. I want to start doing, let's say, some promotional emails, right? And then from a promotional emails, they may have an option to, let's say, if they click the link, you would then want to send a different set of emails. And then if they do not click, okay, so if they click, and if they do not click, you may want to send a different set of emails there. And then from that on, you can map the rest of your emails based on their interaction. Okay, let's do this. So what you want to do is you may want to put a header and say, this is, let's say, benefits. Okay, and then this is, let's say, why this product, why this service, what can it do for you, for example, right? And if you want, you can then do let's say you want to do a scarcity. For example, you got 72 hours to get a discount or introduction discounts or whatever it is. So by virtue of you mapping these emails, then you can, if you have a team, you can then tell them basically, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this email, this email, this email, and then you're going to do this email and this email and this email, for example. And if you want to have graphics, the guy who's doing the graphics will now know the flow, right? The image that you want to do, all right? So once you're finished with this, then the next step is you then want to start writing your email. So one is do your map to show the flow, overall flow, to know what are the interaction, especially like stuff like this. If somebody clicks the link, what sort of emails do they send, or what are the triggers that you want to track? If they do not click the link, what are the emails you want to do? All right. So in between, some of them may have also another string, right? If they watch a YouTube channel, for example, or if they do not, a different set of emails. So now your emails is more relevant in the sense that it's not an email blast, but it's going to be sent based on the user's trigger or their actions. Okay. So once you map this, number two is you do not type your emails or your text into directly to ESP as well. The reason why is because you don't want to be distracted. You want to focus on the content. So you do not want to be distracted. Hey, what if I draw a line? Especially when you use those drag and drop, what if I put a timer in? What if I put the header or change the font size and all stuff? You do not want to be distracted. You just want to focus on content. So what you do is you open up a notepad or either a Google Doc, all right, and just type in the text there, right? So get the copyright and everything. So once you have built, and because now you know the flow that you want to create, you know the emails already, and once you finish with all the text, you then move into the ESPs, because when you move to the ESPs, you copy the text, you will also copy the triggers, all right? You will also basically you will know what are the setups, the technical setups you may want to do. So for example, if you're the guy who just do the copy, the guy who's running the ESPs may want to look at this to know that, okay, here I'm going to set up a trigger for link. Here I'm going to set up a trigger for, let's say, a YouTube link, for example, something like that. Okay. So this is how, thanks, man. So this is how a proper way, or my way of doing it, which I find it useful, because one, if I focus on here, my only intention is to make sure that my copy is done right, my email is done right. And from time to time, I will refer and say, hey, if I'm going to write this, what is the step before this that comes in? Oh, okay. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to write in the next email in relation to this one, for example, right? So that the beauty of having a map like this would be great for you to actually do this. All right, cool.
Hi, and thanks for watching. If you need my help to set up your email marketing engine for your business, just click on the link here and you see a list of services that will help you grow your leads and sales and also increase your profits through emails. I'm looking forward to working with you soon.